All right. Ooh, nope, not that one. Is there anything bad in general? It was not. Fantastic. Well, so I just spent the last hour recording a video for the Final Fantasy Magic release. I wasn't really satisfied with it, so I'm gonna try to do it again later. Because ultimately, I don't think you guys would care for a video about me rambling about card games, but I might. So I'll probably still do it anyways. But it was like an hour long, and unfortunately, an hour long for something like that is not acceptable, especially because they only revealed like a couple cards. So that is what it is. I will end up talking about it more later. I do want to talk about the set because it's Universe Beyond's pretty fun to talk about. So, uh, I mentioned a while back that I was working on a versus matchup for Gojo because I was like, you know what? Let's start the year. Let's try and get some versus matchups in, and I did do that for the most part. Hang on, I'm gonna open up a couple of tabs right now just to get some sources going a little bit here. Unfortunately, uh, Gojo ended up being weak as shit, which is not fun at all. Not fun at all. So what's gonna end up happening is I'm still gonna do the versus matchup in question, but fuck me, I really thought it was gonna be more of an actual matchup. It is not a matchup, which is fun. So I actually have a VSB open over here because I need to check and see. Fuck. Sorry, I fucking put some cream on my hands, but man, that shit fucking burns. Ah, but yeah, where was I? But unfortunately, I'm gonna check and see if calculations can maybe save the character. I'm gonna assume VSB has some silly shenanigans. I also have some guidebook things I gotta go through and talk, and I'll just like casually like talk about while I'm going through it because I actually was able to get a hold of the JJK guidebook for a little bit. I did not end up buying said guidebook, but I was able to get a hold of it, which is kind of funny because I already saw one thing on VSB where they gave a Japanese copy of the guidebook instead of the. Is that actually fucking in that? Yep, that's upside down. I love that. Love that. I do plan to do a Ninja Gaiden stream a little later. But for now, it's just more of a casual research stream. I'm just trying to check and see if VSB has calculations for Gojo that can help the matchup out a little bit. Unfortunately, JJK is such a it's really a series that surprises me with how weak it actually ended up being. I'm just pulling these out because I want to check and see which guidebooks and scans I'm actually going to need and which ones I'm not going to use. Thank you, Aviator. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I will start streaming a little earlier to get some more research done, but I ended up recording a 1 hour video for Magic's Final Fantasy set, but I deleted it because I wasn't satisfied with how it turned out. Oh yeah, this last one. This last one's kind of funny because the author actually just flat out says that Gojo's not as powerful as Kakashi. Yeah, people often tell me it's a good thing that Satori Gojo's as powerful as Kakashi Sensei, but I always tell them that he's not in Kakashi Sensei's league. Thank you, Nam the Birdman. Yeah, so one of the few times an author power skills their character and it's actually accurate. Crazy. Although I'm not entirely sure where I would put Naruto. I think it's like fucking town to like multi-city block level. JJK is not a very powerful verse. It is not a very strong verse at all. I was very surprised at how weak the verse actually was. So what I'm hoping to find is that VSP is gonna have calculations. What the, why the fuck I've done all the research, I just haven't started formatting it yet. So we'll just put for now, we'll just put like multi-city block two large town level. There's a big disparity there. I understand that. It's not one to one, but it's like uh, the problem is Hollow. I think it is just multi-city block level. Hollow Purple is a very honest attack where the AP and DC should correlate. And Hollow Purple during the fight against Sukuna at best destroyed like a building at 200% capacity. Which actually, hang on, I can pull up manga decks JJK because I can pull that one up. There's no reason not to. Hang on. Oh, interesting. I guess they stopped. I guess they stopped updating it after the Gojo versus Sukuna fight. Yeah, because so this is him at 200% capacity. So this is stronger than your average Hollow Purple. And here's the attack closing in. Okay, so it does more damage than I remember, but it's still basically multi-city block level, basically, because there's still plenty of stuff around them just fine. Sukuna does block the attack. Okay, so regarding domains, actually, I did look at the guidebook, and no, they gotta bring that one back. Hang on, where's that fucking loser at? There he is. Okay, we don't need Mahito's thing. We don't need Boogie Woogie either. That might be worth discussing. We have two of those? We do have two of those. We can get rid of one of those. We need that for speed. We don't need that one. Black Flash is good to have. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. So, um, a domain expansion is an innate domain. At the back of every JJK volume, it's stated if a random curse aids Sukuna's body, they can destroy the world. That is true. However, JJK makes it clear that they're talking more about the world as a society rather than the world as a physical area, specifically because sorcerers can destroy countries, but or special grade sorcerers can destroy a country, but they're not talking about like a physical country. They're talking about the government that country is a part of. So the space that humans possess from birth that serves as a mental landscape and embodiment of one's heart is referred to as an innate domain. So it is a mental landscape that is the embodiment of one's heart that you're born with. So take this over here to a domain expansion. Where is it? And a domain expansion is just the act of manifesting a curse technique applied innate domain through cursed energy. So all domain expansion is bringing out your mindscape forward and then immediately layering your curse technique on top of it. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if scaling mindscapes to AP is fair game. I'm more inclined to disagree with that position, but to each their own. I do not think it would scale though. And if Yuki's black hole gets an animation, a so much weakened sorcerer, Gojo and Sukuna, DDFF, could you clarify what you're asking? Regarding the black hole feat for Yuki, that one's a weird one to scale because Yuki's on death's row when she does that. Like she's about to die. It's a Hail Mary attack to use the most of her power immediately in order to win. I'm actually curious if they scale Gojo to Yuki's thing. Let me see where they have Yuki at. For context, Yuki creates a black hole. Okay, high tiers are in tier 8. So I'm actually kind of surprised on that one because that would imply where's the black hole? Okay, so they don't actually scale it to the other characters. Yeah, because they have Gojo being weaker than Yuki in terms of AP because they don't scale her black hole to them. To be fair, the black hole is always going to be a contentious position, but I don't think it scales. Thank you, Rock and Alice. Appreciate it. Thank you for the high birthday. Tengen Barrier Yuki will hold the black hole curse technique. So hang on, we can go to that chapter in particular. So this is not the official translations. Hey, what's up? Ooh, good luck, man. Yep. Uh, that sucks. Yep. The price we pay for food. Uh, is the Yuki fights should have already happened by now, right? Hang on. Trying to freaking does anyone know what chapter the fucking Yuki fight's on? No, 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 I'm actually wrong. It happens I think before the Culling games, doesn't it? Okay, so that's nope. Okay, we went up. Is it in the 70s? Mm, when does Yuki fight this fucker? I know it's not. Is it? No, because he would have already taken Tengen by that point. Is it in the 50s? I'm gonna have to look up when Yuki fights Tengen. Is it 155? Let's check 155. No, this is 156. It's gotta be. Of course, it just might not be here. They have a massive skip. But no, the Yuki fight has to happen during the Culling games, right? Yeah, because the games had already started at that point. Uh, I heard civil working like real world matter. I don't think being too. Thank you, Ewan. I remember civil working like real world matter. I don't think being mental doesn't make it real. Look at the beach. Things are made with soul energy, yet they are traded as real. So the problem is that while you're in the mindscape, everything seems real, but it's not a normal space because Gojo's able to make a smaller one. Okay, you say 208. Yeah, I'll say should be fucking. Oh, okay, you're right. That was in the quiver cooldown or gravity was to hide me was Maki. We don't care about that part. Let's find out to the face. Also, you ask me what I'm doing. All I need to do is distract you. The mass adjusted by bomb by doesn't affect me, but only up to a certain density. Density, if there's no limit to the amount of mass bomb can add. A black hole. Black holes are extremely dense and the gravity is so strong that not even light, much less matter, can escape. It said you could create one by compressing the entire Earth to a diameter of 2 centimeters. You control gravity, but aren't you thinking too small? Gravity, mass, time, and all boils down to boom. All right, gave me quite a scare there. Yeah, this is the biggest ass pull. This is one of the biggest ass pulls in the series. Thank you, DDF, for the correct chapter. Thank you, Jeremy, for the happy birthday. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Well, I'm doing my Gojo scaling right now for the versus matchup. But so let's see here. Yeah, so this is the biggest ass pull in the series because apparently Yuji's mom had an anti-gravity technique. A self-destruction that would have dragged the whole world was held back by Tengen's barrier and her force of will, or should I say it was thanks to that? So the issue here specifically, literally mentioned Earth or planet. Yo, I had that chapter where volumes. This is the question about why Gojo couldn't just pull something like that, like it just stands to kill. So to clarify, Yuki is only able to activate the black hole because of her special curse technique. She can't do. It's not that characters can just create black holes. Now the question becomes: is Tengen's barrier supposed to withstand the black hole? And Tengen is weaker than Gojo and Sukuna. So I can see where your position's coming from with the black hole. But unfortunately, we don't know how much of it is her will and how much of it is Tengen's barrier doing the heavy lifting for stopping it from affecting the planet. Because so presumably she dies right here is where she dies. So right here she combines everything together. She is the point of where the black hole starts. So presumably Tengen's barrier would be resisting the black hole at this point, and then the black hole fades away. Presumably. It's Kenjaku's back and broken body. Oh my apologies, my apologies. The back shot one. Yeah. Yeah, Cheddar Moms. Yeah, it's him. It's not his mom. It's Kenjaku. Yes, my anti-gravity technique. I haven't used this since taking the back shots era. Yeah, basically. Um, I think it's a possibly, but I don't know how much you would get for resisting a black hole like that. 'Cause- so keep in mind that the black hole doesn't destroy everything around them, technically. Because like there's still stuff around them at the time of the black hole. Because I don't think she puts him in a domain expansion during the fight. What is that from? How are you? Yeah, it's just an insurance thing or thing. Hang on. Hang on. Oh no, that's right. I think Tangian puts them inside a barrier before this point. Hang on. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Hi, birthday. Work, so I'll watch it later. At some point, I have lost streams to get caught up on you. Good devil. At that size, it's way more than big enough to destroy the Earth multiple times over. Have a good day as well. Thank you, devil. They're inside taking his barrier. Anyway, Zim got sleep. Good night. Layers Aviator. Since you only need the size of what penny you're setting to crush the Earth, let me see. So each room is a Sunti barrier. Anyone skilled with barrier techniques can configure its structure to some extent. A sorcerer Kenjaku's level should be able to configure a theater as he pleases. Isn't that bad for us? Kenjaku thinks that. He needs to think that he's comfortable in here and that he has the upper hand in this space. That's why he'll stay within the barrier, but ultimately the Sunya barrier is mine. That's why I start the fight inside Sunya barrier and get him to expand his domain as the owner of all. Okay, yeah, so this is how he breaks the domain. So oh, I actually forgot Kenjaku has a open domain as well, actually. Hang on. Okay, so they're still within, they should still be within his barrier then. Yeah, huh. So it's really just gonna come down to how much do you think he's actually withstanding the domain expansion or the barrier for how he's supporting it through the black hole. That's gonna be the issue here on the table. Yeah, so the barrier goes down there. So he disappears through the barrier, and then she activates the bomb. Hmm, good. No, they're not gonna be cooked till she said till around like 7, so you're gonna have to come later. Yeah, yeah. Yoruzu's Perfect Spear that has Infinite Pressure 2 might be Universe AP 2. Yoruzu's Infinite Spear is not scalable to anybody but her because even Sukuna basically concedes the position that he'd be able to break it. Hang on. I think it's in 216 the fight happens. So the official translation, I believe he says something like it's better to keep the original body for fighting sorcerers. So regarding Kenjaku surviving prior to that point, hang on, I'm just gonna. We don't know when he activates the point. So here he is. Tengen distracts him. There she does. She starts activating the black hole. He's still able to recognize it. The black hole has activated, and then we see him walk out. So we don't actually know if he tanks the black hole or not, which I don't think he does because he flat out says the guy from before was actually technique reversal. The curse technique in Great Nukem is actually anti-gravity system. I use my body as a domain to raise the technique lapses limit on the activation time and unsteady output. That improvisation was a gown, but at least it worked. It had me sweating though. Yeah. So at that point, Kenjaku never takes the full force of it because he just immediately gambles on the idea that his anti-gravity technique would win. And it did. Um okay, so where would you even where would you even scale that to then? Because giving credit to Tengen scaling to it, let's assume do they have any scaling for Tengen by any chance or no? Hmm, 'cause I'm curious what they claim if they claim anything for like a different output. Okay, so Tengen gets no scaling there. No, because so the black hole happens here. So at this point, the black hole is barely starting, and then he activates the gravity technique at this point, presumably. But but we don't know exactly when he activates it. So this would have to be, we would have to see in the anime when they want to give him the gravity technique. Because if it's anything prior to the full black hole activating and him being sucked in, then he doesn't scale to it. But so I'm curious here on this one. Israel nuclei was a decayable creating black holes, general door, PX1, black hole formula, energy in joules. Latter matters because of this, how stars become black holes, their lifespan, the gravitational force compresses the star's mass to a tiny spot. Once it doesn't have any more fusible elements, which increases the density of the star's result. It also notes that not even liking escape black holes are essential a stable black hole, so they are very qualified to be found here. As long as it's not destroy physical force or it has any notable contradictions, the black hole can be treated as a real one where it's consistent or non-inverse. I'll leave it to the knowledgeable. Uh, I'm curious. Ooh. Where would you? Because so if we give Tengen the benefit of the doubt and say he stopped the black hole for a certain amount of time with his barrier, let's be generous and give a time frame about like 3 to 4 seconds, because Yuki would have died at the start of the black hole creation. So her will holding it back would have to depend on when she dies during the attack. Even if he's holding back the full force of the black hole for 1 or 2 seconds, that would technically be scalable. Because Kenjaku does say that he does hold it back with the barrier, but I don't know. So the barrier has to be able to withstand the gravitational force of a black hole in order for this to make sense. Tengen will just not the AoE, Kenjaku's not the gravity to protect himself. Yeah, but so this depends. Like, so what do you scale to Tengen then? Theoretically, what would you scale here? Just the force of a black hole? Because that is what that's the whole thing of a fucking black hole is that nothing can escape it, and their gravity is so strong and not even light, much less matter, can escape. It said that you could create one by compressing the entire Earth's diameter of 2 centimeters. So, how much force would Tengen's barrier have to resist? So, how do you? So this creates the black hole in question. You can create SIP. Create a black hole radius to this is value. Ah, okay. So it gives you yada tons worth of force. The black hole itself is infinite gravity. What about the vacuum? Well, no. So the black hole is infinite gravity, but the question would be more than the Earth's size kind of force. That it. Fuck. How do you scale like the how much force is a black hole? We'll just look up how strong is the gravity of a black hole. Oh, pilot, I need a fucking number. The boundary which the gravitational pull becomes irrelevant is called the event horizon. The escape velocity of the event horizon exceeds the speed of light, making it possible for anything to escape from a black hole.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Noctis
Cyber.
versus Kenshiro sucks.
Nope, it's a goaded
Adios.
matchup. That son of a bitch. In order for black holes, strength of black holes turn by their size sim. Okay, so then assuming Kenjaku stay. What a random cyber encounter. Okay, so assuming we take the statements at face value and assume that the black hole is strong enough to destroy the planet, so it would suck in the planet and crush it. I think you need to differentiate between the actual mass that the vacuum is being sucked in isn't where the pressure is. Thank you, Red Dusk. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift as well. Whenever that happens, appreciate it, Red Dusk. Thank you for the happy birthday. Difference between the actual mass and the vacuum is being sucked in isn't where the pressure is. So according to him, it would have dragged the whole world. And I believe in the official translation, he says it would have destroyed the planet. My English degree just shining through. The black hole would have to come within 10 astronomical units of the Earth to compete with the Sun in terms of gravitational force. Theoretically, if there is no spin or outward pressure taken into consideration, it would take about 10 to 15 minutes for the entire Earth to fall into the black hole. However, the vastness of space and Sun's gravitational pull make it unlikely we're imminently endangered. Black holes are extremely dense objects in space, so no one can escape. All right, Newsweek it is. March 29, a Reddit user posted an animation of what they claimed was a recreation of what would happen if a penny-sized black hole landed on Earth. It was later found fake because the animation was actually stock CGI footage from the Earth being destroyed without any black hole modeling, but not before the post. A mass amount of 5 tons of concentrated of the footage can be seen below. All right, well, apparently that's not what it would look like. The black hole did form on Earth. The planet would be destroyed by killing everyone on it, but the process would likely be different from the video above. A penny-sized black hole would have roughly the same mass as the Earth for reasons explained. Okay, so the mass is obviously bigger. Again, Neil Tyson, just look up what size. So we're talking about this stream. Trying to finish off my Gojo section for a versus matchup I'm working on. Frank, a particle physicist at the University of Stanford, has previously provided insight to what would happen if planes black holes. The Earth would have just collapsed in the way he said, because the outward pressure and the fact the planet is spinning. He pointed out black holes are destructive not just due to their mass, but also due to their intense heat and radiation they give out. This will cause some of the Earth to be blown to space rather than stuck in the black hole. Hero and Quara, when the matter near the black hole begins to fall into the black hole, it will be compressed to a very high density that will cause it to be heated to very high temperatures. These high temperatures will cause gamma rays, X-rays, and radiation to heat up the other matter falling in the black hole. The net effect will either be strong enough outer pressure on the outer layers of the Earth that will first slow down their fall and will eventually ionize and push the outer layers away from the black hole. Secondly, he said mass falling towards the black hole begins spinning around the black hole at increasingly fast rates, similar to how an ice skater spins. This will cause whatever's left of the Earth to essentially orbit the black hole. Uh, fuck. Yeah, I touched on domains a little bit earlier, but I'm going to touch on that a little more when I finish up. Ah, fuck! So he has to halt all the radiation and everything, and any combustible things that get fired out, he would have to halt as well. Get this. I asked in the comment section of Kratos' Rosin video if Greek and Norse pantheon exist in different universe. How did Kratos get to the Norse pantheon? Guess what someone said? What'd they say? Um. So the black hole itself, the power and energy to create it is not scalable, but sucking in the planet would be a scalable feat potentially. What gravity does the black hole have? Okay, so I'm not gonna. Gosh darn it. Uh, I hate just not scaling black hole. Potentially because over time, would that get the highest end of multi-con? So the problem, uh, I, I'm just gonna. He said, "You do know those two characters do things that are logically impossible. Is Kratos being able to appear in their universe really that far fetched?" Yeah, that's not a good argument because why doesn't he travel the universe of the World Tree then? Yuki creates a house-sized black hole. Yeah. Uh, I guess I'll just put possibly downscales from the black hole, but like I for now I'm gonna have to. I'll ask Cyber later. I kind of wish we would stuck around for a few more seconds. I'll ask why the fuck does the mouse disappear when it enters the fucking thing? I guess it's new fucking update. If you only need one size of fist to destroy the Earth and hers as many times that. So what I have to do is I'm gonna have to either talk to Neo or Cyber and ask them if they have any idea how to calculate resisting the force of the black hole would be. Thank you, Sparta, for happy birthday. Because so it's not going to scale to the whole black hole. There's no scenario where it does. But if a penny-sized black hole can tear the Earth apart, then Taken's barrier has to withstand the force necessary for a planet to be torn apart by gravity, which would be planetary because the way planetary is scaled by force is breaking the gravitational bond of a planet, and there is no scenario where a black hole is not doing that. And if a black hole the size of a penny can do it, there's no reason Yuki's can't. But that sounds gross, and I don't like it. I'm going to mention it. I'll see if I can't get more like direct answers. I can, Red Dusk. I can. Sounds like a sounds like a standard shenanigan for God of War scalers. Okay, so in terms of physical strength, though, I don't think Gojo does anything too crazy. Let me see if they have any calculations for him in terms of physical strength. Kasan Toji is weary with the ladder holding his katana in place. What do they have here? Okay, that's not physical strength. What the fuck is this? Why is there curse techniques in the physical lifting strength area? Um, peek, peek. All right, cool. I don't think Gojo ever does anything physically impressive. I think the best you can get is because all of his attacks are actual cursed energy. So I don't think there's ever a point where he does anything too crazy physically. I mean, I guess if you want to argue that with energy, I don't know. How do you guys want to take anime extensions of fights? Because he should scale to Maharaga and Sukuna, and Maharaga is able to chuck cars around. Thank you, explosive. Yeah, unfortunately, Kratos' cosmology has a lot of issues. No? What's wrong, Kyle? What's wrong? Don't you want to give Gojo the ability to throw cars with his bare hand? Kyle, when he hears anything from the fucking Kenshin Sakuna versus fucking Maharaga fight. Well, yeah, he physically chucked Drogo around. He can pick up Yuji, no problem. Um, Fuck, it's because cursed energies and fucking everything they fucking do. Fucking assholes. They're like Dragon Ball characters. Yeah, regardless where Suzuki has an innate curse and Master Con essential strikes concentrate release cursed energy. These strikes themselves turn to cursed spirit exorcism. Yeah. Let me see here. Nope, that's going too far back. Where's cursed energy? There you go. Cursed energy is energy that leaks from humans. Negative emotions just source spontaneously generate cursed energy. Utilize and activate several kinds of cursed techniques. Sense negative emotions, filled with rage, hatred, envy, and jealousy. Exit trigger. All jutsu sources go through training and draw out the cursed energy from any tiny emotional trigger. Yeah. Fuck it. Just superhuman. Like he fucking slams fucking Sukuna through a fucking wall. Second, multiply context matters in power skill versus debates. You don't need to be a top tier power skiller. I know that. Yeah, because unfortunately, without Maharaga's anime fight where he throws trains around and shit, there's not really much else to give JJK when it comes to physical strength. Because like the best you do for like Gojo, no, so his fight starts thinking like 221, I think. No, no, this is I'll say 'cause it's after the domain battles. I think is where it happens, where he starts fucking knocking Sukuna around. Yeah, because right here he flicks his finger and that's a curse technique. Then it breaks him through the wall. I think at least Superhumans is probably the best I'm gonna get here because almost all of his attacks are based on curse technique. I mean, here you could argue no, because they also use curse techniques here too. Do you know what's worse? Gojo's damage to Maharaga that adapted to infinite pressure. Maharaga's adaptations, I don't think stay on it because if it did, Gojo should never have been able to beat Maharaga. Because remember, Maharaga killed a limitless 6-eye user in the past, meaning that Maharaga theoretically would have killed someone who had Gojo's moveset. So there is no way Maharaga can keep the adaptations, and that still makes sense. So you would just assume that that is just not the case. That wouldn't matter. Yeah, because it's not till after the domain battles where we get this shit. Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't really get anything going on there. Speed. Every user at 10 Shallow seems to remake a new set of same beings but they start at 0. Well, according to the guidebooks, no one's ever actually conquered Maharaga. Did I leave the Maharaga page here? Yeah, Shigami that no Tenshao technique sorcerer in history has tamed, analyzes enemy attacks and neutralizes them. So no one has ever actually beaten Maharaga with as a Ten Shadows user, which is actually really funny. So Megumin's statement about Maharaga more than likely being used to kill the Six-Eye user by just sacrificing themselves is probably the most valid statement. Sukuna's the only guy who was able to do it because Sukuna kills Maharaga during their fight in Shibuya. And I guess Maharaga remembers that because Maharaga doesn't try to challenge Sukuna when he summons him again. And to be fair, Maharaga wasn't even the biggest fucking threat there, to be honest. The World Cut Slash was so fucking ridiculous in comparison. But yeah, okay, so thankfully we have to go through speed now. And unfortunately, Piercing Blood is the best speed feat, but right next to I think what's his name? Hang on. What's the man's name? I think it's Tayama or something. Yeah, Naiwa, I think, yeah. So Kashimu is kind of weird. I think saying Kashimu's tech is like electricity speed is fine, but that would be like a high ball. Technically, the best the series gets um is fucking I think it's just only Mach 3. I'm curious if there's an argument against him having because Kashima also has another attack that could be scalable, but it's kind of hard because unfortunately we're not really given a time frame to work with it. Is Kashima not on here? Supersonic, Master Hypersonic Plus attacks people with lightning discharge, can fire a lightning strike. All right, let's see. Yeah, I get electricity. Yeah, this is fine. I think for the most part to use this for lightning scaling, but like I try to build up based on what goes on there. But Kashimu having lightning would be fine. Um, it would not be speed of light with the electromagnetic waves. Okay, so this is kind of weird. Why is Gojo not scaled above Kashimo in terms of speed? Because Sukuna would be faster than Kashimo. Is Sukuna given that speed? To clarify, we straight up have a Mach 3 statement as well. Yuji throws a car. When the hell did that happen? Oh, I actually forgot about that one. Hang on, let me see here. Who are we looking for again? We're looking for Sukuna. Mm, what the fuck? Okay. Thank you, Emmanuel. What was Battle's research for again? I'll go Joe matchup. It's not really gonna matter all that much, but it is what it is. All right. So we're gonna hit them with that bare minimum. Also, I know someone's gonna say it if they know JJK regarding Piercing Blood. I am 27 now, actually, which is crazy because I started this YouTube channel, I think back when I started the YouTube channel, I think when I was 16. I didn't start uploading until I was like, I think 17. Yeah, because I think it was around my birthday I started uploading for the first time 10 years ago. So, Piercing Blood. mm, How fast is lightning? Is that just massively hypersonic? Yeah, massively hypersonic. That is perfectly valid to scale the Gojo. There's no reason not to. There should be no argument against that. That's perfectly valid. Gojo's literally stronger than all of them, and Sukuna was able to fucking hand Kashima's ass. Oh man, you want to know what the worst part about getting old is when young people like Kyle insist that they have it worse. Love that. Yeah. So regarding light speed based off electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic waves are only light speed in a vacuum. Hang on. Well, I can't spell for shit on this keyboard. All further variation, the speed of 200,000 meters per second in a vacuum, speed of light is related. So that is within a vacuum. When they are not in a vacuum, like when Kashimo fires them, they would be slower. So, best case scenario, you would give Sukuna some degree of sub-rel for dodging Kashimo's attack, and that would scale the Gojo. That is the best case scenario. But the problem is we don't know if it's aim dodge or if it's dodge directly. And again, even if it is, it would just be some variation of sub-rel. I don't understand why it is considered speed of light. Oh shit, he loses to Yuta. What the fuck? Speed was equalized. Why is there so much speed equalizing here? I think it's just possibly sub-rel. And to be clear, so basically we're just doing basically for speed, that would be it. Because unfortunately, Gojo only fights Sukuna and that's it. So there's not too much other speed feats to really work with. I know he's able to think in like milliseconds technically because he's able to activate his domain and cancel it in 0.2 seconds. I believe is what the statement is. In terms of durability, I'd have to scale him to Sukuna. So now I think it's just a case where it just scales to AP. I do think endurance matters a little bit nowadays when it comes to matchups. Light seems to be would be shooting myself. He's gonna be, he gave me a shrimp. Look at him, gave me a shrimp. The problem with durability, well, I guess I don't know. Would Gojo even scale to his own AP durability? Well, yeah, because a lot of the times when Gojo gets killed or cut by something, it's bullshit. Thank you, Raito, for the happy birthday. Thank you. All right, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So yeah, Gojo's just now. There's just not a lot on the character to really talk about for the most part. Now, to be clear about something, Gojo is at the pinnacle of his series. Right next, should you also add stamina, skills, experience, and hacks? Well, power is going to cover hacks for sure. Stamina, knowledge, and experience are going to be in there. I guess I could mention skills very briefly, but it's just like jujitsu, sorcery, and hand-to-hand combat. I don't think he knows any actual martial arts. So we put that down there. Off. So endurance is fine. Skills, because powers and abilities, like Gojo's main advantage is going to be powers and abilities. Because if that's basically his win con is basically Domingo Burr. I think hacks is its own category from abilities. No, because powers and abilities are basically just you're going to include haxes in there. You would just focus on the haxes that matter more. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I must say that your hair is looking wild. Also, it's nice to know we have close birthdays. Nice, rockin' Alice. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really comb my hair and haven't cut in a while. Gojo knows Wing Chun. I'm going to be honest. For the matchup he's up against, it's not going to matter. I'm playing him up against the Fist on North Star character. He can know every martial art he wants. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. To tell you what. Knows Wing Chun. There you go. It's not going to matter. Wing Chun. Wing Chun's not even a good martial art in real life. So for context, for those of you who don't know what Wing Chun is, Wing Chun, if you've ever seen the Ip Man movies, there's a series, well, I guess it's a movie series called Ip Man. In the Ip Man movies, it's a bunch of quick successive strikes that I think are supposed to flow one after the other, and there's never supposed to be a real break between the hits. I believe is how Wing Chun works. Because Wing Chun also works with a lot of really quick jabs and stuff like that. But I believe that's how Wing Chun is supposed to work. Every movement has to be fluid, and it has to. It basically has to flow into the other. Still, martial arts goes to Goku. Am I right? Damn. To be fair, all martial arts really are just practice techniques when it comes to punching, kicking, and other like like offensive moves. Wing Chun is real, but the Ip Man usage is highly exaggerated. No, Wing Chun is real. Wing Chun just sucks in real life in a fight. Even the people who teach Wing Chun say you should use it more for exercise than anything else. You're supposed to react quick, not punch quick. I think I've seen that might be the case. That might be the case. I might be a little too familiar with Wing Chun's depiction in movies versus something else. But yeah. So knowledge and experience. Master of most, if not all, forms of jujitsu. I believe he can do barriers, but he doesn't do them very well. And create an opening for you to strike. That's probably why it's not a very good fighting martial art, because technically, like if you have to react to an opening and not create an opening, I think that's what causes a problem. Because technically Muay Thai is a shitty fighting style in a street scenario. Because the way Muay Thai works is you balance yourself on one foot for a lot of your attacks, and in a street fight, Muay Thai is fucking worthless. Because any fucking fighting style requires you to balance on one fucking leg, just asking to get fucking stomped. Ah! my legs. Yeah, Mike Tyson punches fast. Wing Chun's defensive martial art that relies on blocking and countering and makes opponents lose their balance. Yeah, which makes it a poor fighting style because of the fact that like most people, you're already gambling on the idea you can outlast the individual you're fighting. But all right. I believe that's as far as it goes. So for scaling for Gojo, they give him. It looks like they give him multi-city block to small city level. Yeah. So basically, just kind of where I had him at too. Large town, small city. I guess that's different. Do I have that in my notes for curse technique reversal? It's not going to matter ultimately because the AP. So while that is something worth noting, I don't think it matters. Let me check here. Do I have that thing though or no? Let me see. I got Yuji. I got Maki catching bullets. Yuji thinking 0.1 seconds. No, I don't have that one, but that doesn't really matter. Wing Chun teaches you not to close your fist too much because your punches will be too stiff. Yeah. Oh, I see what they're doing here. I see what they're doing here. Okay, okay. So what they're saying is because Curse Technique Red is double what Curse Technique Blue would be, they double the amount of energy it would take. So it goes from large town level to fucking Injuju Fire plus a person that seals place upon it at the bottom of the Japan Trench. Gojo caused an earthquake felt in the Saitama Prefecture. That the distance is 282 kilometers instead. I'll be using magnitude 4.5 low and reason comments and 5N for the high end feats. Natural origin. Then brought to is brought up that since Gojo is located at the subduction zone where Earth's tectonic plates dive back into the mantle, as well as him being at the bottom of the Japanese trench where tectonic plates meet, Gojo caused the earthquake through interacting with the plates. With natural earthquake formula being more appropriate, the formula is pretty much the same. Instead of just using the total seismic. Interesting. Yeah, okay, I see. I see. Only junior victim, one of Gojo's feats beats a strong race that lives in Africa, made him follow his instructions when he. Whoa, easy there, DDD. But yeah, okay. So for the purpose of the power scaling, I guess I would just make a note that fucking for a matchup that red deals more damage than blue, but that wouldn't really matter anyways. Oh wow. Actually that's actually a good feat there, actually. I didn't even consider that one. What did they give for the calculation on that one though? For the energy produced in the attack that killed Maharaga? Mm, they not fucking calculate the fucking fireball. Yeah, calculations matter a lot when it comes to this point. Let me see here. Okay, so that'd be 15 fingers, Sukuna. So, whatever. 15 fingers. At least small town level with Shrine. His slashing cut through Maharaga and Cleave King slash entire skyscraper. I don't know how you want to take slicing attacks. Hello, Pimp Demon. How are you doing? I thought you were talking to Mangler. So let's see here. Aaron that showing to circular area diameter 200 meters dust, which Storm Maharaga had not adapted. Up to large town level with divine flame. By 9 particles level enshrine their matter. Explosive crush energy. The flames unleashed from the furnace were set. Align a thermobaric explosion that vaporized Maharaga. Large portion should move. These are just furnace described as Sukuna's ultimate move. Should be at least as powerful as divine flame fired off by greatly weakened Sukuna. That's near a large section of Shinjuku. Yeah, so just large town level across the board, and so Gojo's technique would be stronger. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Gojo is ultimately he was just better than Sukuna in almost every metric. Like literally only loses to the bullshit. I'm doing going to bed. Lol. I see. With a proper context neutralizing Miguel that made him teach Yuta stuff on curse usage. Wow. But yeah, yeah. So no, I think for the most part the scaling situation I had that is fine. I don't think there's any reason to go too crazy there. I guess I could mention that technically red would be stronger than blue when fired, but it's like okay. I mean, so to be clear, they give Sukuna large town level, and for Gojo they give him large town level after he comes out. Which, to be clear, I think this is actually kind of bullshit. Just because of the fact that there's no reason to assume that Gojo prior to the prison realm is weaker than Sukuna with the 15 fingers. So I would say he should technically upscale off large talent. I'm going more so what they physically show, but I guess if we assume because Sukuna's flames, um, they're an attack that isn't Sukuna's own raw power, if that makes sense. So the way Sukuna's flames work is Sukuna activates his domain, slices everything apart within a distance to act as like gunpowder, and then fires his flame into that gunpowder to ignite the explosion. That's how Sukuna's attack works for his domain. I don't recall a statement in the guidebook for it. Gojo in the prison realm is it's weird. Technically, the prison realm says time doesn't pass, so you could argue inaccessible for that. But I don't I don't think we ever really see Gojo move in the prison realm, technically in the manga. The anime does show him moving around, and I have no reason to doubt that. But I don't know. I don't know on that one. That one's weird. Because time distortions happen in other people's domains. So I don't know if I want to give him inaccessible based off the prison realm. I could mention it, but I don't know. We'll just put like those put like very highball-y, inaccessible via prison realm. I don't think that's too valid though, unfortunately, because until we get because I don't think the guidebook talked about the prison realm all that much. But if we go with statements, time isn't passing, and Gojo can move in the prison realm. But that would be like a massive highball to Gojo's ability. Which, to be fair, if you give Gojo inaccessible speed, then he ends up shit stomping a lot of characters who are above his tier. But that's more of that's very much a possibly situation. All right, so I guess I should leave a note here. Oh, look at that fucking English degree, fucking just in fucking full swing. That would be base, red, and purple. I'll put more power. That is technically valid. It is just time negation, not speed feat. So technically, this depends on how you want to interpret the speed equation because that's going to come down to the personal preferences of the scaler in question. Are you a scaler who, if someone walks into a place where time doesn't move, they just don't get anything? Or is it because they're moving to a place without time, they're breaking the speed formula, therefore they should be this? I don't really have too big of a bone in that fight regarding that situation. I will just say that I don't know how valid it is since we don't really see him move all that much, and the most he does in the anime is literally just do that. And even then, that's even assuming we give that inaccessible speed. Because there's no way that's the writer's intention. Because if it was, obviously we have a bigger issue. Now, of course, writer's intent is good to some extent, but it's not always the answer because at the end of the day, we have the feat there. I think I would honestly rather just give him like some degree of resistance to time manipulation, or it could just be the properties of the domain let you move around. Because the whole point of the prison realm is to trap you and effectively force you to kill yourself. So I could just argue that he's able to move as a result of the prison realm wanting him to be able to move, not so much that he's moving himself because he resists time manipulation or something. So I think we can now move on to some powers, and we actually have guidebooks to help us here on this one. So let's go over Cursed Energy first, since that's essential. Going straight from the guidebook for this one, boys. Not go to unaccessible speed because of the feats shown in the Fight of the Strongest. So that's what I'm saying. Because the problem here is, even if you would consider it an outlier, because too many people scaled to Sukuna, and well, I mean, scale to Sukuna. There's a very bold choice of words to say that one with. It just wouldn't make sense, that level of speed. What if you have writers that don't know what they're doing, thus create too much inconsistency to determine an accurate scale, and you have to go off general idea of the series scale? Um, so you would go for consistency over everything else. Or let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. You would go for consistency, assuming the top end feat is not at a point in the story where it wouldn't matter. So a good example of this is in let's use like fucking I think Fire Force has this issue. I think in Fire Force, and if Kyle's here, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they don't get their uni inaccessible speed bullshit until the final fight of the series. Is when I think all that shit happens. Or let's use like DMC1 for example. Nothing Dante does through DMC1 is all that impressive, but because the fight with Mundus happens at the end of the game from a narrative standpoint, you can't call an outlier on it because that's at the end of the game and it wouldn't matter if that's right, if like that's right or wrong, because like there's nothing really else to conflict with it. So, but generally you should have enough pieces of evidence to support a position. That's kind of where it's like light speed for JJK kind of is rough because you have one guy potentially to scale for it, and it's dubious how fast the attack is even moving. So that's definitely an issue. Yep.
To correct you on the Fire Force one, technically by how Shinra's power works, you can argue him to be immeasurable from like the start of the series. So in Fire Force, when you move at the speed of light, you're not just moving at the speed of light, you're moving physically through time. Fire Force isn't the best example for that one.
I stopped what he was doing and immediately correct me because it's Fire Force. I had to step in and be all like, nope, nope. So Luke being Darth Vader at the end of the original trilogy, yeah, that's a good example. Frog Kuna, yes, the fraudulent one.
I have an issue with the prison realm because we don't have enough information on it besides from like it's a timeless place. I take timeless places as inaccessible, but because of what the realm intention is, it makes it dubious and we need more information on the realm.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hang on. And then at the Fire Force, we have Soul Eater. Kyle, when do we get Soul Eater lore from you?
Let me get through the two characters I'm doing first.
Lamau Sakuna is now a fraud, bro. They literally jump him with a 6-head plan BS with plot armor on their side. So Sakuna is ultimately a fraud, because the one guy who could actually go toe to toe with him, he had to prep super fucking hard in order to beat him.
Okay,
Actually, no.
let's do it this way. Let's explain this. Am I live?
You're live. They can hear you. They can hear you.
So, when Zim calls Sakuna a fraud, you have to think in your mind, what does that make everyone else who couldn't even deal with an injured Sakuna?
Make no mistake. I believe the verse is full of bums. Make no fucking mistake. There are two people who might actually be able to do something in a versus matchup, and everyone else is a fucking bum. I will not rep anyone else from this fucking series. They are all trash.
It's the funniest thing, because when you take Gojo out of his verse and you put him in other verses, you've either got a scenario where it's a stalemate because they just won't be able to touch him, or they just absolutely demolish him. There's no in between. That he usually doesn't win most of his matchups. They're usually just tied.
So Gojo's position is either a tie or he wins because of domain expansion. Which actually, that reminds me, I didn't tell you this, but there's actually a much better statement for his domain expansion in his guidebook.
Oh, do tell.
So it talks about Satori Gojo's domain expansion that draws his target into the inner depths of Limitless, forces all living processes like perception and communication to work infinitely. The target is pumped with infinite information, causing them to peacefully descend toward death. So it is a lethal. It actually is a lethal technique. If Gojo just leaves them in that ability, they will die on their own.
Right. But you know what that tells me?
What?
If you can move without like thinking or instinctual reaction, then it does nothing. So,
Well,
unironically, if Luffy did what he did when he fought Endeavor, he'd be just fine.
Kinda not, because his brain's still being crushed by the information, but his body would be able to fight with that regardless. Hold on, guys. I think we have someone who might not be able to beat Ultra Instinct. Hold on a minute. Was Gojo represented accurately in his death battle? I don't remember how that death battle went. I do remember that there was contention with that death battle, but
That's one that me and Zim do plan on doing that fight again, just way later down the line when I get the opportunity to power scale Chainsaw Man. Because at this point in time, when it comes to Chainsaw Man, you might as well just wait for it to fucking finish and then do it.
yeah, no, he's right.
Chainsaw Man, I'm pretty sure, is about to head into its final arc anyway.
Sounds like you're really hoping for that.
No, I'm just fucking tired. I spent all morning climbing up and down a ladder for the past 4 hours.
Oh, that's great.
I'm exhausted.
Sounds like it.
I sound like the black kid Malcolm in the Middle.
Whoa there, Kyle. Also, hello, Wonton Soup. Where's the happy birthday?
There's nothing
Sakuna
racist
just.
about that.
What was that, boy?
There's nothing racist about that. It's descriptive.
Interesting. Sakuna just wanted to Dark Soul nerf himself so bad and fight Gojo with his new build. So Sakuna says that fucking Megumin's body is better for fighting sorcerers in the official translation. And I'm gonna keep it an honest buck with you. If Sakuna turns into a curse and he loses access to Maharaga, Sakuna loses the fight. Also, yes, that is correct. Heian era Sukuna is weaker than Meguna because the fingers are stated in chapter 2 to get stronger every day. So that would mean that each individual finger is more powerful
Well,
than when they were created.
I was gonna say you could literally just make the argument that even Sabrina when he first appears in chapter 1 will be more powerful than where he was during that era.
It's possible. Also, there is a statement that curses, when they come back from death, become more powerful, and it directly pans to Sukuna when he's fighting them. So when what's his face? So I will say for the record, if Sukuna was not a curse and we went to Heian era, he would beat the shit out of everybody but Gojo a lot easier. But against Gojo, anything post Heian era is not going to cover it. Did Doomslayer talk in Doom Eternal? I think he talked once. Oh, rage and hatred are two different things. Okay.
Talking to the two people in the Versus community who never touched Doom. Which is funny because it seems like it'd be right up my alley. I've just never bothered to give it a go.
I think if you like that one game with the rock soundtrack that goes up with how much damage you deal, I think you'd like Doom if you like that one.
But Metal Hellsinger also had fucking lyrics that went with songs. I like industrial metal, but there's only so much in instrumental industrial metal I can listen to before it starts becoming monotonous.
That's fair.
And that goes for any instrumental, because there's a point where it just starts becoming white noise.
That's fair. So, how are you guys taking Kuna and Binding Vows? It's perfectly fine. I'm actually going to say I don't think Sukuna's a Binding Vow merchant. I think that's inaccurate. I think Binding Vows are just a part of Jujutsu Society, and Sukuna's just the only guy smart enough to fucking abuse them.
Yeah, he's not a merchant. He's the entire fucking bazaar.
I will say that without Binding Vows, Sukuna is fucked. But I will not discredit the character for using Binding Vows when he's the only one smart enough to fucking use them.
Oh, let's put it this way as well. It's sad that the only character who would scale to Sukuna is fucking Gojo, because everyone during the final fight, you cannot argue with good intent that they scale to Sukuna at any point in time.
I will caveat that by saying the only guy who has a potential argument is Kashimo, but we all saw how that went for him.
That was Gojo. That was Sukuna fresh off his Gojo fight, so he was still fucking exhausted and about to get jumped, and he still won.
Yeah, but so for context for a lot of people, so how are you? So the Binding Vows at the end of the day is just Sukuna being smart. Without Binding Vows, he's a joke. But his Binding Vows are, I mean, I hate him. I hate him for it, but he's good. Uh, so so speaking about Binding Vows, restrictions, and so this is what the guidebook says regarding Binding Vows. Restrictions and vows that one shares with oneself or others are called binding vows. The penalty for breaking them is immeasurable. So that's actually a lie. If you make a binding vow with yourself, the only penalty you lose is the buff the binding vow gave you. So this is actually where some people brought up an interesting point. Why did Sukuna not break the binding vow that let him kill Gojo? Because Gojo's dead at that point. So why not break the binding vow so you can use the world slash over and over again without hand signs? And some guy's like, what if by breaking the binding vow it brings Gojo back from the dead? And that's the only explanation I can think of for why he doesn't break that binding vow in the final fight. Because if he did, he would have won.
That would have made absolutely no sense, especially because he's been cut in half. He just brings him back, he just bleeds out.
Gojo just immediately reform. No. Imagine he breaks the binding vow after Yuta uses his body, and his body just gets up.
I'm
Oh, it's
like
funny.
Jason.
Like the Undertaker, just start hearing the bells as as he sits up.
I'll never get over Gege being like, "Ooh, is Gojo coming back?" Ha, psych! I don't like any of you. It's Yuta. You all like Yuta. Oh yeah, great.
Devil out there fist bumping when Yuta comes back in his teacher's body and still somehow loses the fight to a weakened fucking Sukuna.
Gets his body. Devil's is like, yeah, he's about to come. He's about to get Jacob's ladder and shove it up his ass, and he lost.
I know.
Oh, I hate the end of the series so much. Not even for that, just for the fact of he set up so much and expanded on none of it.
Okay, bro, let me get you with that binding. Okay, so hang on. Let me finish what it says for binding vows. Binding vows are a pivotal element for jujitsu. Also, divulging your curse technique and self-restriction are also forms of binding vows, which bring effects that can boost one's cursed energy. So there is an
Are
in-universe
you tell,
Go on.
are you telling me he gave himself an in-universe explanation to have a Bleach style fucking explanation of powers?
Yes, you actually get a benefit in JJK by telling your opponent what you do.
You know what? That's great. In JJK, you do that in any other verse that has brains, and you're fucked.
The JoJo fighters when they get free intel.
Bro, could you imagine if he was fighting like Giorno or Jotaro and they heard that? They'd just be like, "Thank you. You're
Thank you
either really competent or really stupid."
thank you so much. You have no idea how hard this normally is to figure this out.
Yeah, usually I have to go through hurdles, sacrifice a couple of friends, maybe a dog and a child.
Oh, hang on. Or the fact he needs super prep time to use his fire arrow. To clarify regarding the prep time Sukuna needs for his fire arrow, it's not that bad and it's not that long either. All Sukuna has to do to use the fire arrow is activate domain, obliterate an area in like 2 seconds, which he is more than capable of, and then fire arrow swing. It's not that big of a deal to use. I love the fact that everyone in JJK, if they have a powerful opponent, they will jump them unlike most other verses. Might be because the effect is random and he's still getting jump. He didn't like the variable. That's possible. JJK character in the Cell games with DBZ scaling, they would have all jumped Cell. I would love to see that animated. So the problem is that best that came out of JJK were the memes. True. They plan a 50 plus combo scenario to jump Sukuna. Because telling your opponent is just like making a pseudo binding vow that you will shit on the opponent that knows your ability. Um I kind of wonder, does Gojo never explains his powers to anybody except like his student. So I wonder if Gojo's even bothered trying. I guess Gojo's even bothered trying. Actually, neither does Sukuna. Actually,
Actually, how do you take explanations? Do you take it as him explaining how Hollow Purple happens? Because he will usually say, "I mix red and I mix blue" to his opponent.
so technically, he doesn't tell his opponent that. So I know what you're thinking of. Because when he fires it on Toji, he doesn't actually explain to Toji. He thinks about what he's doing. When he uses it on one of the cursed spirits, I think it's the forest one. I forgot what their name was. He explains how it works to himself, but the opponent can't hear him unless that actually counts, and that gives you a boost to your binding power if you explain it to
I
nobody.
imagine if it's just like you have to explain it, but Gojo's just like, it didn't say I had to say it to anyone. I just had to explain it to myself.
Hello, potted plant nearby. Would you like to learn how hollow works? That is so stupid if that's actually how the buff works. I'm not gonna give him
No,
binding vows. He
you know
can't fucking
what?
he doesn't use them.
Now, you know what? If that's the case, that makes so much more sense why people will explain shit to themselves in their head as they're fighting. Because remember, the guy who fires during the exchange event was it Blood Arrows when he's fighting Megami, and he explains it to himself.
No, no. He tells the curse user that he has multiplication user to use red but fail because red needs to know reverse curse technique. That's true. Oh, that's so okay. I guess I guess I'll include it as a power. Cause yeah, he does. I guess he does tell people shit.
How that all fits in the Northside character. I don't give a shit. Die.
I'm gonna use my reverse curse technique on blue to make red.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
you know
punch
what?
you
You
now.
know what? No, you know what happens? He fights Salva, and Salva's just like, "Oh, thanks for telling me that. I guess I'll just tell you I have reverse pressure points. Are we good?"
What what am I supposed to do with that information? I don't know. You just started randomly telling me what you did, so I mean, do you do pressure points? No? All right, then there's no problem here.
I
That's the
thought we
most
were
weird.
sharing information. I thought we were just sharing information.
Uh, I'm gonna keep it honest, Buck. I'm actually not the only
Does
way I.
does
What?
you does Yuji ever explain it to himself before he uses his power?
In one scene, he explains how Divergent Fist works to
Doesn't
Mahito,
he?
and I think that's
Does-
it.
Doesn't he also do it to was it the praying mantis
Yes,
in
I
the
think he
train station?
does.
Oh my god! Everyone knows how to use it. They're just too stupid to know how to break it and then give themselves something else.
I'm going to use the tendons in my leg to move forward, buff. I'm going to use my brain to think, buff. Oh, that's so stupid. So, since
I don't,
Kamiya likes,
I don't like taking anime stuff, but if Kenjaku explains to himself how to stop the black hole in the anime,
oh my word, don't even say that. That's the most weird out of pocket stats about amplifying, but it's valid. The mercenary that's supposed to kidnap Riku Amano. If you're talking about Toji, I don't think he actually tells Toji what he's doing, cause he's thinking in his head as he, no, I think he does vocalize it. Toji's just too slow to realize it.
wait, does what's his what was his best friend's name? Not Kenjaku. What was he before the brain took over? Yeah, does he explain how Uzumaki works or how his techniques work during the flashback?
I have not read Type Zero. I think he does explain Uzumaki though. So since Kamiya likes his women small chested, was Trish originally supposed to be small chested girl until Tsuno decided to upgrade her double D's? No. Trish in the original game was a ample busted woman. Why did I use the plural there? Um, either someone else designed Trish or Kamiya wanted to hit the highest market he could, and he understood that his taste might not be the most popular. But all right, let's see. Cursed talismans don't matter because Gojo doesn't have any, so we don't worry about that for now. This I actually need to flip this over. Actually, is there any way? Can I flip this over? Thank you. So I didn't get the screenshot of that Gojo can do domain expand or domain amplification and shit, but I'm still gonna get to him anyways because I know he can. Yeah, here we go. So this is him explaining the six eyes. So I will have to put the 6 size in there for powers and abilities. Can I just copy to clipboard? Hang on, we're gonna go to copy that real quickly. Perfect. That'll make it easier to read. This is from the official Jujutsu Kaisen character guidebook. This is the English translation. VSB has the Japanese translation for some reason. Curse uses the wear pair bag in his head. Oh, he explains his ability to amp, his ability to use red, but fails. Yeah, so he would have told him that. There's a good chance that Kyle's right, and characters just don't realize how binding vows work. Okay, so let's explain domain expansion. A domain expansion is an innate domain, a mindscape. Let's call it a mental mindscape. Really hit them with that double whammy. It makes no sense. That's silly and stupid as fuck. How can they not know how they work if the guide says they are essential? So the problem is that I think the only characters who actually use binding vows consistently are Kenjaku, Sukuna. The curses know what a binding vow is, and the sorcerer should too, but no one uses them. Again, the only guy who uses binding vows in combat is mainly just Sukuna. No one else seems to use binding vows, even though they're so good. I guess the drawback to a binding vow would be that you might be able to unintentionally break the vow, which would fucking ruin you, I guess. How the curse technique is actually activated doesn't really matter for the purposes. Yeah, is set in stone. So to be clear regarding curse techniques, cursed energy is blunt. A curse technique can be generic, just like technique usage. I actually should put that in there. Cause are you going to buy any DOA games on sale? I already own all DOA games on Xbox. Chosen Brother has the raw technique that melts you in hours and telling their opponents to amp their combo curse technique to melt their opponents in minutes. Or what's more than likely is that's the character or the writer didn't realize that until later on. Yeah, so here's the main battles going on. Yeah. So hang on, let's continue there on this one. So I guess domain expansion, the domain, mental landscape that is layered or that has a cursed technique etched into it. So let's see here. We'll talk about the other. Actually, no. I should cover the basics first. So curse energy reversal. But yeah, I already own all DOA games. By the way, Six Eyes has the broken ability, scan ability. He will know your curse technique and energy flow. I will touch on Six Eyes. I do have the guidebook statement right here, as well as I can just go find the original manga statement as well. Because, yeah. So, what Gege says about Six Eyes specifically is their eyes that can see cursed energy with unreal amounts of detail. Even blindfolded, is able to see almost as if he's using high resolution thermography. He can even visually confirm things with no cursed energy, such as buildings, by way of visages and flow of other sources of cursed energy. In fact, if he doesn't blindfold himself, even if he does have a fresh brain with constant reverse technique running, he'll start to feel a little tired. So there's actually a scenario where you can argue that Gojo is ultimately nerfing himself as a result of fighting Sukuna blindfolded or unblindfolded, because technically he'd get tired just by having his ability active at all times. Oh, hang on. No. So first, let's finish this off first. Technique etched into it. We don't need Maharaga anymore, technically. So let's see here. I guess we'll cover reverse first. Reversal. I think that's trash she left out, to be fair. Or do you recognize it? What is that? No, I think she did. In the morning? What is it? Is it trash? Leave it out there. I don't know. If it's trash, leave it out there then. Yeah, so the real question I'm gonna have to answer myself is how if I want to do verse equalization when it comes to the abilities or not. Yeah. Curse energy is negative in nature. However, system. Oh, bro, don't wash your hands in there. Why aren't you into the sink? Crossing negative with negative curse energy creates positive curse energy. This reverse curse technique is capable of healing, however, requires extremely precise manipulation. There's limited pool sorcerers that can use it. Okay, let's call reverse curse technique. Curse energy is negative in nature, however, by layering two cursed energies together. Does anyone remember if Gojo heals limbs or not? I believe they may be wrong that Gojo can see at least a kilometer or something like that. Sight wouldn't really matter for this fight. Actually, it would because Gojo can teleport. So there's a guy that makes DMC5, Dante X Hanukkah fan art, and a huge Dante X Trish shipper made a comment about that happy-go-lucky girl like Hanukkah would remind Dante too much of Patty. Uh, I would say no to that personally, just because the issue with Patty is more so not that she's happy-go-lucky, but she's like super overbearing, whereas Hanukkah wouldn't have that issue. Let me see here. All right. All right, I'll save you some tamales. Hang on. Does reverse curse technique energy to a topic not expanded on the series negate rather? Also, I know Gojo is able to heal wounds almost instantaneously from Sukuna's domain. Does anyone remember if Sukuna or if Gojo heals a limb? Because you can heal limbs with reverse curse technique, but I don't know if Gojo himself ever does it. Check chat 52 where they apparently mentioned how success can see. Hang on. First, I want to check and see if Gojo ever heals limbs. Because I know that Hikari can heal limbs, but Hikari has a better reverse curse technique than Gojo.
His own or someone else's?
What?
His own or someone else's?
His own.
No.
Well, well, because
Maybe
he gets his.
maybe minor cuts and scratches. He only ever uses it to refresh his brain.
No, because he gets his arm cut off during the fight. Oh, yeah, he does. He heals back his arm.
Does he?
Yeah. So, um, so what happens is he hits Black Flash on one of the summons, and when it reverses his when it restores his cursed energy, his arm heals back. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's why I had to check and see. Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't remember Gojo ever actually grabbing his arm back after it got severed. So, reverse curse sneak negates curse energy too, a topic not expanded on in the series. It does negate with it, but it's still weird. So Dante,
Did somebody say a technique that's not expanded upon in the series? Preach, brother. It's not just technique.
so Dante can differentiate Trish from his mother and other demons, but Dante can't differentiate Patty from other girls similar to her archetype. Yeah, it's totally fair. Yeah, it's weird. Because positive cancel out negative stayed by Sukuna, because Mahoraga with one hit him with a reverse curse technique sword. Wait, so what's happening? I'm finishing out my Gojo page for a versus matchup, and then afterwards I'll take care of the other fighter by myself because that won't take too long. Sukuna can heal limbs. Yeah. So would we would it be fair to scale Gojo's reverse curse technique to Sukuna or not?
I don't think reverse curse technique are available to anyone.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because Sukuna's reverse curse technique is strong enough to not only keep him alive without a heart, but he can heal back his internal organs.
I think that's something that needs to be shown with Gojo because Gojo's doctor friend who lives in the morgue has way better reverse curse technique than he does. That's why he brought Yuji to her to heal him.
No. So that's actually wrong. She has worse than Sukuna and Gojo, but she's the only one who can heal other people.
Oh, really?
So her mastery of reverse curse technique is better because she can heal other people, but his is
I thought
stronger.
I thought everyone who had reverse curse technique could heal people.
No, it is just her. That's why they kept bringing people back to her because she's the only one who can actually use it on other people. Or I take it back. I guess technically Sukuna can use it on other people too, because I think he
Oh,
saves Megumin.
no, because remember, Mahito says that if he wanted to, he could reverse what he did to Junpei.
Okay, so we would just say Gojo. Okay, we would just say Gojo, as far as I know, can't.
Um, yeah. On top of that, because if he could do that, then there would be nothing stopping him from healing his cut from being bisected by the World Flash.
No. So I think after learning specifically how cursed energy works throughout the series, I now understand why Gojo died. Sukuna cut his stomach. That's where cursed energy comes from. So Sukuna directly hit the part of the body where cursed energy comes from. Apparently, no other fighter thought I should take out the spot where cursed energy comes from. They're all just fucking idiots. Burst energy comes from the stomach area. Yes. Hang on. Let me see if I marked it. It's gonna be early on in the series. Hang on. I think it's like chapter 7 or something. It's after he would die. So let's see here. Hang on. Okay, if it's not explained here, I think Toji explains it. I think that's like what, chapter 29? No, I think we're too far at this point, right? Not Toji, when does he fight the guy with the fucking the clap? Does anyone know when that chapter happens or no? Okay, well here we go. Here we go.
I'm going to explain for those who do the class.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. No, 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 no. It's the guy who claps. Yeah, who fucking does it. Yeah, I don't remember his name. Here we go. So I gotta spit the flow. Flowing cursed power is something a lot of shamans do consciously. Hating from the guts, revolting the stomach. The theory is that cursed power created from negative emotions starts from your belly button and flows to your whole body. You flow cursed power from your belly to your chest, then the shoulder, arm, and to the fist. Yeah. So technically, that's how cursed energy flows. Just punch him in the stomach, then you'll be power knowing them. Nope, Gojo has the hack's ability to survive getting chopped in half, but the reasonable shit is Sukuna cut Gojo's soul too. Well, we know he didn't because Gojo's soul is fine in the afterlife. Keep in mind that the body and the soul are very. The guy who manipulates soul and Kenjaku are like debate on how the soul actually works. Mahito claims that the body is formed around the soul. Kenjaku claims the body is the soul because Geto is still able to do shit after Kenjaku takes over his body. Nope, Gojo has the hacks ability to survive getting chopped in half, like what he did on Mahito. Gojo has 6 eyes. Even if he has a 0.1% of his power, he still supply the healing to the lower half. So the problem is that by the time because of the nature of the world cutting slash, technically you wouldn't be able to heal from it right away because remember, the world cutting slash is not cutting you like a normal sword. It's separating the space. So what would happen is the attack would hit and Gojo's whole body would plop off like a Lego. So there's never a point where Gojo could actually heal the cut. If that makes sense. Because it's one clean, you're popped. There's fucking light in my way, so I have to fucking move the camera a little bit. But yeah. So that's technically how it works. Although, if you want to argue that's not the case and that's just if Sukuna's mince his head, there'll be no question, but no. I get what you're saying, so he just dodged the slash in an unconventional way. Uh, so Gojo never dodges the slice. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think anyone else takes the world cutting slash.
Doesn't he use it on Maki?
Does he? Well, even if he did, that'd be a weaker Sukuna, so the potency of that spatial attack might not even be as valid. Zim,
What did he use on Kashimo?
the world cutting slash. That's why Kashimo immediately died. Chapter 52 stare. Just punch them in the stomach, you'll be power annoying them? No, you have to rip their stomach out. Alright, let's see if this place has 52. Oh no, don't report the fucking chapter. Uh,
On the site we use, how close is the official translation to doing the actual fight?
for the official manga?
Yeah.
With the site you linked me, it's done. The series is over.
Ah.
Yeah. I guess the official manga must have come out earlier this year, the last chapter.
I've never read the official version of the fight. I can't see if there's anything new in it.
Okay, so Gojo is able to see and hear. Wait, he can hear Yuji. There you go. The presence of the guy who was near to him is gone to let him die. Only a high grade is left again. Full rotation technique. Imaginary technique purple. It looks like it's not on chapter 52. It might be on chapter 51. No, that's not. Start trying to report chapters. No. No, I guess it would be 52, but doesn't really say anything, at least in this translation. Is it we're looking for? You're telling me that Gojo saw and heard Yuji from a kilometer away, if that picture is right? So I guess this is what's being used for like the distance of how far Gojo can see and potentially hear things. So Gojo can teleport. And we don't have a distance. And so just to clarify, we're never actually told how Gojo's teleportation technique actually fucking works either. It has to be some sort of spatial compression.
Because when you actually like read the series and you read his abilities, and then you get his backstory, and it's like he can teleport now. It's just like, okay, then fucking when? Are you telling me that Gege couldn't? Are you telling me that Gege couldn't bullshit his way into saying that it's just high speed travel?
If I had to make a guess how Gojo's teleportation technique works, he has to compress space like a wormhole. It's the only thing that makes sense. Reverse curse technique comes from the head, and Gojo still have half the cursed energy in his half body. Six eyes can make Gojo heal lower half easily. Nah, I'm pretty sure it has to be the stomach thing. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense how Gojo died at that point. I mean, granted, it's still like a massive cop out. It's still really fucking trash, but like. Does anyone remember if there was another page where Gojo explains the six eyes? Because hang on, I remember around chapter 15 he teleports to go get Yuji.
Maybe zero.
I have to go through zero then. Okay, so
It wouldn't matter because his child self is getting a fucking movie this year, so we'll probably get some explanations from that.
Wait. What do you mean his child self's getting a movie?
Yeah, Gojo's getting a movie when he was a child.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Fuck. Oh, fuck, he's not kidding. Oh, yeah, they're readapting the hidden inventory arc. What the fuck? Oh, also to clarify, the hidden inventory arc is like 6 chapters. Like it is one of the most is one of the most talked chapter 70, page 9 of the wiki, don't fail us. Gojo's most overpowered ability is probably like in terms of combat, the domain expansion. Oh, but hang on a minute. So this is what I want to show you guys. Um, so here's Gojo outside the city limits in a random area from the town he left Yuji in, and Gojo's going to not yet. He's gonna teleport to Yuji. Yeah. Okay. Should be just about time. So he kicks him down. Gojo's in the air. Gojo's gone and brought in Yuji. Yeah. So Gojo teleports to where Yuji's at. Yeah. And then returns it back immediately. I was at the Magic Call just about 10 seconds ago. Yeah, it doesn't care to explain. If you genuinely believe that Gojo didn't teleport there, which I believe it is stated he teleports. I believe I think the official translation says he teleports. But yeah. So that's what Gojo does. All right. So someone's saying chapter 70, page 9. Gojo's 6 eyes, infinite curse energy sustain plus infinite defense and mind ability, in my opinion. His strongest ability is either invulnerability or his domain expansion. Let's look at page 70. They don't have page 70 on the website. I can find the official translation later. I just don't want to open it up. Oh, they don't have chapter 140 either. Oh, that's amazing. To be clear, the scans I am using for the video are the official ones, but unfortunately, that website has some suspicious ads, so I am not gonna put that website on the screen.
Ah, it's fine.
No, 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 it's not, Kyle. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Also, where's the happy birthday at CO? Let's see it here. 6 eyes, infinite sustain this today. Gojo 6 eyes can make his curse energy usage stand infinitesimally close to 0. No, 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 no. The domain still takes a lot of energy to do. It's just that Gojo makes all his other abilities so cheap to use with cursed energy that you never notice. No, MangaDex isn't that bad. Yeah, I'm using MangaDex, but the problem is that MangaDex doesn't have the fucking chapters. But there's a different website that Kyle sent me that has the official translations. But so yeah, so this is what the guidebook says for in
Also,
full high resolution.
are you
What?
telling me? Are you telling me the movie is readapting the arc that's 6 chapters long, and the anime tried to stretch it to 5 fucking episodes?
Yes, sir. Oh, I didn't remember that, SEO. My apologies. Would you
Hey,
guys be interested in me talking about the Magic Final Fantasy cards that were announced for their crossover or nah? Just a random question, because I did make a video for it, but I'm gonna redo it on my PC at the computer later. I just want to know if I should just live stream it or if I should actually make a video about it, talking about it. But the art attack is the brain. Cursed to box fatigue is so hard to heal. Yep. Rockhouse, you want to send me the scans? I'd appreciate it. All right. So for now, 6 eyes. We'll just say grants Gojo superb vision and cursed energy sight.
Doesn't it just make all of the techniques just like way less consumption heavy?
No. So what it technically does is it lets him see how cursed energy works in Unreal Detail. And by doing that, Gojo's able to regulate cursed energy at a efficient rate beyond what anyone else can do.
Right.
Allowing him to regulate his cursed energy flow. Ah, son of a bitch. Yeah. So that's why he's able to keep up invulnerability at all times. Which actually, invulnerability is gonna be the weird one I'd go over. But the author nerfed that. I'm not surprised. He's in my con regarding his teleportation. Where is it? Gotta be spatial compression since it fits well with the theme of his abilities. Yeah, that's fine.
Invulnerability is not that hard to explain.
No, as an ability, it's not hard to explain, but I'm gonna have to go over what can be blocked by it and what can't be blocked by it. So I have to go with what is for sure shown, and then I have to mention the hypotheticals that Gojo says he's gonna train towards as a child. So maybe the expanded anime will actually show us training with that. Let's see here. What else? I guess we'll cover invulnerability here.
I think a lot of faith in that.
He is literally stated to train extensively, and Yuta even flat out states when he's using Gojo's body, how hard must have Gojo trained to make everything look so effortless the way he does.
Don't care. I want him to show me what he can block, otherwise he's not taking it.
Fuck off! He's literally got the training
No.
arc!
No. Show me what you can block. Otherwise you miss a slippery slope. Fucking no limit fancy bullshit. Get out of here.
As long as he says it can be done. The author literally says he can do whatever he wants.
He also doesn't know how to write a fucking story.
The author literally says he can do whatever he puts his mind to. The author baked in the no limits fallacy.
Jim, are you really going to be repping for an author that has somebody who literally grooms and gaslights a 12-year-old spirit?
Oh, you're right, Kyle. My apologies. Oh yeah, Kyle. By the way, I'm gonna send you an image from the newest chapter of Regenesis, just because it has so much fucking aura. I can't wait for that fucking new anime to come out. Gojo does not have what?
When's the Fist of the North Star anime coming?
We don't have a release date yet. Just that was confirmed that was happening. Early series Gojo can go forever, but author nerfs his shitty brain curse technique box and that hard to heal to limit his usage of cursed energy. The author literally invented a nerf like what Kishimoto did to Madara.
God, he is such a good artist.
Oh, that is so to be clear, that is his apprentice. That is not him anymore. He can't draw that well anymore.
Dude, fucking props to the apprentice. This rules.
Yeah, but so that's the main antagonist basically flat out saying that a true savior will appear later to save the world. Look at that aura. Look at that goated fucking stance.
Are you going to use this for Shiro being stronger than Kasumi?
No. I'm going to use it for Johnny to be stronger. No. Alright, let's see here. So,
No, you know what would have been funny? If he's a true savior is coming, it just has a small picture of Amoeba.
Alright, so let's see what was sent to us by Rocknalis.
Alright, well, I got a job that I need to continue on with, so I'll talk to you later.
Good luck, mate. Peace. I was really surprised at Tactile. I was on guard with my NCQ, can't remember. Okay, plane. Satori's got sharp eyes before he took off. He checked out both passengers and the crew, as well as the plane. I was escorting the plane using my cursors during the flight. Yeah. He compensates for his lack of power with cursed energy enforcement, but everyone does. But when he does, you're the exact opposite of me. You know, so I got more than Gojo Sensei cursed energy, but Sensei has a 6 size, so the energy that's lost when he activates cursed technique is infinitesimally close to 0. Of course, Sensei is the best after all, so I can run out cursed energy, but he doesn't. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. An elite fighter has great action controlling cursed energy, making it difficult to predict the attack until the moment it's executed. Yes. His whole body is katana cause surgery with cursed energy. The problem isn't about reading his moves. His every attack can be decisive, but he can restrict all damage to minimum. Yep, that's about right. No, Kyle, Raul versus Gojo. So it is a Fist of the North Star matchup versus Gojo. Gojo's too weak for a lot of characters. That's a cute airplay drawing. Indeed. Also, Gojo does not have a love interest, but it should have been Shoko. But realistically speaking, we all know it's Sukuna. All right, let's see here. No, I can't tell when things don't have cursed energy, invulnerability. Close this one, right. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover a total. Okay, so technically it's called Limitless, is what the actual ability is called. But that's fine. The automatically chosen targets of his curse technique effect based on mass and danger level whatever approaches him. You hear that? Whatever approaches him, Kyle. But no, Kyle's gonna be like, no, that's not valid. The North Star Brothers all go through One Piece to get the cure for Toki win. I should start that this year. Actually, I didn't talk about that earlier in the year, but I should start that. So, all right, invulnerability and automatic defensive barrier of cursed energy that slows down any dangerous object, or what was it say specifically? That shows on any dangerous target. Based on mass and what is it? Based on mass and danger level. Can Rao beat Namek or Goku? Namek or Goku? Maybe, but that's gonna depend on where you want to scale Fist to the North Star. Hmm? Fuck. So Limitless is technically just a barrier around. Also, I mean, we can just look over here. Under Limitless, the only things allowed to come near are perpetually approaching convergences. The Gojo family inherited technique. The Limitless curse technique is a barrier that manifests infinity and prevents contact. So yeah, it would be a barrier that manifests infinity. So they've never reached Gojo. It is a spatial barrier, which is confirmed by Sukuna, to be fair. 6 sides make the strongest technique even stronger. A physical idiosyncrasy of the Gojo family that allows them to find out a target's curse technique and detect cursed energy. Possession of the eyes are hysterically rare. The eyes allow for minute cursed energy manipulation. They are a natural gift essentially to fully handling Limitless. Yeah. Because I think that's what Sukuna said. I think that's how Sukuna describes it. Hang on. So Gojo dies, I want to say in 260 something. No, that's too far. I think it's like 234, I think is where he dies. Nope, a little further. Here we go. Mars is start receiving a single tag, slowly starts to analyze. Its completion is only a matter of time. If it receives another identical tag during analysis period, the adaptation accelerates. Once the technique adapted to, the analysis doesn't stop there and continues to adapt further. What I wanted from Mahoraga was a model of how to tear through your infinity. At first, adapting Mahoraga was altering the essence of its curse energy in order to neutralize null for infinity, but that's something I was unable to do, so I waited. Its intended target wasn't just you, but space. The entire world existed in itself. It targeted everything before it unleashed those slashes. Your infinity meant nothing as long as it existed within that space, that world. It would all be torn apart. It was a near impossible technique to pull off, but that model proved to be quite effective. Yeah. Neutral infinity that has the Achilles and Turris paradox, pro BS. Gosh, I heard so many people trying to explain what limitless is, and they all have different explanations. So the way infinity works is infinity is an innate barrier technique around Gojo. So think of it like a force field that stops whatever comes close to him. That's gonna hurt him. The question that a lot of people ask or like kind of go against is what stops at infinity? What does infinity stop that's not directly shown? Is what a lot of people kind of put it at. We don't need Sukuna Technique for now. I believe vulnerability is the neutral state of Limitless. Man, look at all these misspellings. It's great. But yeah, so that's how invulnerability works. That is the invulnerability. Neutral state of Limitless. A variation of Limitless with cursed energy attracts things to it. And I believe, is it red or is it ruby? Yeah, it's just red. So one's azure, the other one's red. Okay, I see how it is. Positive energy born for first cursing extremely limitless. Are you considering moving out of California? I might in the future, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the current moment. Don't really have a financial standing to work with, and I haven't really seen any opportunities elsewhere that really make me want to move. Barrier the Infinity will make you slow because it's creating an infinite barrier between you and the opponent in proper context to the BS shit. Context is technically that it just slows it down forever. It's not putting an infinite distance between you and your target. It's making everything slower. A combination attack of blue and red opposite energies that should be far stronger than red was able to wipe out Mahoraga in its entirety when even Sukuna's furnace couldn't. There we go. What you're saying is that he effectively creates an infinite space. Gojo mentions the Achilles and Turris paradox explaining the neutral infinity. Yep. So, for intents and purposes, he is creating an infinite space, but he's not creating an infinite space. You have to be accurate on how this shit is. Jogo from actually, so Sorcerer's Own Palms, the ground, or wells gush high temperature flames, and molten magma that burn away their target in an instant. In addition, he has a powerful technique, Maximum Meteor, which drops a gigantic meteor capable of rendering. So it's actually a durability feat technically, because high temperature flames and molten magma that burn away their target in an instant. Expands a scorching domain that resembles the volcano space that can burn through flesh in seconds, on top of having can't miss effects to add insult to injury. In addition, the sorcerer can launch a further attack that just through the fingers. If a target takes a super high temperature pursuit attack head on, they would evaporate without leaving as much as ash behind. So yeah, Jogo. So technically, Infinity's working on the heat of that domain to prevent it from killing him and Yuji, presumably, because otherwise Yuji should die there. This is just for Pierce the speed of sound for Kashimo. Or not Kashimo for that one. Okay, Black Flash. Actually, yes, I do gotta mention Black Flash. Because while Black Flash is rather random, it is still a viable option. If it's just infinite space in base form, why mention the paradox that always creates distance? So because when Gojo calls it infinity, he's being he's being semantical about it. It's kind of like he's being cheeky about it, would be the right way to say it. He's not actually creating an infinite distance between him and his opponent. By virtue of slowing his opponent down the way he does, he has effectively created an infinite distance. Does that make sense? When cursed energy collides with a physical strike within 0.00001 second margin of error, space distorts and cursed energy flashes black. In the Jujutsu world, this phenomenon is called Black Flash. A Black Flash is a cursed energy critical hit, so to speak. The power that generated is said to be 2 times the power of a normal hit on average. Due to that fact, there is not a single Jujutsu sorcerer who can use Black Flash at will. However, for those who have experienced Black Flash, as compared to those who have not, their understanding of the essence of cursed energy is measurable. I like how it says no one uses it at will, and then fucking Yuji just ends up fucking spamming it like it's his fucking job. When uh does anyone remember what chapter Happy Birthday came in to say this? Thank you, sponsor. Appreciate it. My Hero Academia did end, yes. Does anyone remember what chapter it specifically states that Black Flash restores cursed energy? Because I know Gojo uses it during the fight and that restores his cursed energy. But I'm trying to remember where it specifically says that. Like, what's the first time that's mentioned? Yeah, so even Gojo's dimension creation is not session as well. There's also based on the condition skill. His judgment by no means incorrect. Yeah. So let's see here. So technique outputs. So probably once again. Yeah, I'll have to find where it specifically says that. I know it's around there somewhere, but I'll have to find where that's specifically stated. All right, good night. Gonna go sleep. Good night. Have a good rest of your birthday. All right, Red Dust, thanks for stopping by, man. We're almost done here with Gojo, anyways. And afterwards, I'll be taking off. I'll probably end up streaming later today as well to get some Ninja Gaiden done. Yeah. All right, so I think all that's left is the domain expansion. I believe that's all we have to cover now. Mm, discipline. Oh, I guess I have to give it. I guess I have to give the simple domain. Well, actually, we would cover that afterward. We would cover that in the domain expansion because simple domains are domain expansions. Inherent techniques tend to be inherited members of the bloodline. Extension. Okay, so yeah, we go with expansion. Curse technique, apply curse energy, domain energy, after expanding domain, curse techniques will always hit the target. Curse techniques will always hit their targets. I want the comma there. That's the wrong one. There it is. Drugs to the consume massive amounts of energy. And the user's abilities also increase. User abilities also increase in the domain. Let's see here. Oh, we already covered reverse curse energy. Outside drawbacks and they consume massive amounts of curse energy and you're using curse techniques. You come if broken cursed techniques take time to recover. And now we just cover what his is. I believe it should also mention that the distance that Infinity creates is also based on Gojo's perceived space, i.e. the distance that he can visualize, sort of think as well. Good night. Oh, night sponsor. I'm working during that time, fortunately. You good, Red Dust? You good? Let's see here. Oh, actually, domain amplification. Yeah, so we'll leave this page up for now because we do have to cover this one. But I need to pull up Gojo's page real quickly to get the guidebook statements for that. And then I'll just go through, grab scans from the manga, and we should be Gucci. Yeah, so we'll just use Unlimited Void description to work with. I'm going to reorganize this later to make it flow better. So just domains Unlimited Void, which draws a target into Limitless. And it forces all living processes to loop. So I'm not sure if fighting unconsciously beats Unlimited Void. It realistically should, but I guess that'd be if you can kill him within the time frame. Oh, sorry about this. Good night. Regardless of how the user achieved it the first time, whether it's a skill or a simple luck, the danger state where manipulating a cursed energy becomes something as simple as naturally breathing, it can result in a feeling of omnipotence, as if everything revolves around them. This leads to a greatly increased performance of combat line user up by 1 to 200% max potential. I see. What chapter is that on? So I can just grab that screen. So I can grab that screenshot later. All right. Horizontal like perception and communication to work infinitely. Mm. My English degree just shining through. Targets public information. By far, unlimited voice is best ability. Chapter 50, page 15. All right. I'll make do I have that note down or no? I have chapter 48 for Black Flash. We'll put that to the side for now. I'll spend some time tomorrow and tonight grabbing the scans on Gojo's end. Shouldn't take me too long. All right, is that it? Oh, I guess I cover simple domain and variations. The active span one's domain over one's body, and then domain amplification. Uh, Domain amplification. So the problem is like how am I gonna verse equalize this? Because like a lot of these specifically state countering curse techniques, but that would just be the power system of the verse. So I think it's still fair to I think it is fair to equalize that outwards to other verses, but we'll see what happens. Because I'm gonna be honest, while Gojo's not strong, his actual power set because of the energy system is actually kind of crazy. Or not crazy, but like actually super useful. Loses cursed technique, but his physical attacks can bypass the defenses. Not only is allowed to neutralize the curse techniques any targets come into contact with. Okay, so attacks can bypass the curse techniques of what or who it goes into contact with. All right. I'm pretty sure outside of a couple of like extrasensory perception feats and like enhanced senses and stuff, I think that's about it for Gojo. Took roughly about 2 hours, but okay. Yeah, because what does VSB give him? Let's see. Teleportation, spatial compression. Yeah, okay. It does compress space and coordinates. Yep. Seems like from some everyone held the record for most backlash, most total use of the phenomenon at one point. Martial arts. Yeah, pressure points. I don't know if that's ever stayed at the pressure point. I don't know if you call that a pressure point or if he just hits him with enough cursed energy to like take him out. Pseudo flight and acrobatics. Yeah, that's fair. I'll have to mention his pseudo flight because he's basically flying at the time. Weapon mastery. Eh, say to be the one who taught Megumin how to wield curse tools. Shockwave generation. Generate a massive earthquake originating from Japan. I don't know if that's valid or not. That's basically him breaking out of the prison realm and then going to fucking to attack. Yeah, energy projection after images. Yep. He can't create after images, but that's not really impressive on its own. But I'll mention that. Yeah, unlimited void, domain expansion, type one. Curse energy. Okay. Mind manipulation, soul manipulation, perception manipulation, information manipulation, process inducement, unlimited voids, and metaphysical territory that forces the targets to feel everything expressing their thoughts. This effect is powerful enough to put a high level curse spirit like Jogo in a catatonic state, unable to process anything, and render regular humans unconscious, requiring 2 months of rehabilitation to heal from, despite only being subjected to only 0.2 seconds worth of information stream. Unlimited void can also affect souls. Where's that come from? Unlimited void 0.01 seconds. A moment ago, impossible. Regardless of the wheels turning, Mahoraga manifested after that. Did Sukuna bear the burden of adaptation? I don't know if that means that Megumin took the brunt of Unlimited Void, to be fair. Yeah, resistance to temperature and fire manipulation. I don't know what that's about. The information manipulation not accurate to give on that page. What is the information manipulation type 1? Uh, these characters manipulate information as the medium of knowledge as opposed to just manipulating what a specific person knows, which should be considered mind manipulation. Characters with this ability can, for example, store information on a subject and by that make it inherently unknowable. Other examples used would prevent the information from leaving an area, making it so that those outside can't gain knowledge of what's happening inside or alter information to change what people know about the subject into something else. Yeah, I don't know if type 1's the right one there for that one. I think it'd be more accurate to just say perception and paralysis inducement. I don't even know if information manipulation is valid for that. Because Gojo's not manipulating the information. He's just looping your information or your perception of the information infinitely. Yeah, so I'll go back and add the details later on, but for the most part, we got it all basically down. I don't know if size manipulation is valid because he's just shrinking his barrier. Yeah. Yeah, barrier protection, limit power nullification, use simple domain which such barriers, imbue curse technique, nullify domains, guarantee it, or an unconventional instinctive action can use following blossom emotion, which is an anti-domain technique that coats the user in the aura that automatically protects touches, and in Gojo's case can counter hundreds of likely thousands of slashes. Yeah, that's what I was referencing a little earlier. Yeah, we already talked about that. Genius intelligence, damage reduction, can reinforce crush energy, stop swords from stabbing through a further point. Yes and no. Technically yes, technically no. Social influencing. I don't know if that's valid or not. That'd be super passive if anything. Supernatural willpower. Six eyes, greater enhanced senses, can see crush energy extremely clearly. So yeah. Like a tonic level manipulate space. Right. I am gonna have to read JJK0 to get those other Gojo statements. Yeah, this one is valid. Yeah. So I'll just have to double check on. I'll just have to read 0 and double check from there. But for the most part, we got it all more or less down. Everything else is just extra flaw for like specifics. So we'll probably end the stream here for today on this one. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the happy birthdays and well wishes. And hopefully I'll be able to have this video out by the end of February. So with that said, thank you guys for your time as always. Um, what is 5:45 p.m.? What time zone is that, sponsor? I looked at Kratos also debate, and they go on accepting statements at face value. Mount Kratos winning, and then Chuck Martin and statement will pop out. Currently Texas. Okay, so your Texas time zone. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Oh, gracias, nomás. No sé todavía. Ahorita voy a acabar de aquí. ¿Eh? No. I'll see you on Wednesday. All right. Well, at any rate, with that said, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next streamer video, which will probably be later tonight. And yeah, thanks for coming out. Thanks for the well wishes, and I hope you guys have a nice day.